The seeds of greatness were sown in the early 80s. A number of young players, including left-hander Bruce Hurst,
Struck him out.
and the highly charged oil can Boyd came into prominence.
He was sharp. He could read hitters. He understood how to get them out. He could see holes that a lot of other people didn't see. He also flamboyant, I think. He brought some magic to the pitcher's mound every time he went out there. Bruce Hurst was this phenom pitcher who was coming through the organization that had fantastic stuff. A lefty that the Red Sox had been looking for.
But the hurler that showed more promise than anyone was a big fireballing Texan named Roger Clemens.
Clemens gets his first major league strikeout.
Their unsung battery mate was the quiet, unassuming, and quietly productive Rich Gedman from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Getty takes him deep, way back, home run, into the grandstand out
The
there.
lineup also featured two quality batsmen. Bill Buckner was a first baseman with a reliable bat.
Mel Hall going back, he's right at the fence, it's gone. Two-run homer for Buckner, and we're tied at 3.
Outfielder Tony Armas packed a wallop and would smash a league-leading 43 home runs.
A straight home run for Tony Armas, his 37th of the year. And the Red Sox lead it 2-0.
I felt like we had a great club. We had a good mix of some veteran players and young players. There's a lot of energy on our team. We'd been around each other for a few years, and then in spring training we got Don Baylor, and that added I don't know, an extra dimension to our team.
When he was traded in spring training, it was like our team got a jump start. Somebody who not only was a great talent, but he was a tremendous clubhouse leader, and he helped us prepare for what was ahead of us.
For those who believe in signs of destiny, one was literally provided right off the bat in 1986 in Detroit.
We are ready for the first pitch of the 86 season, and here it is. Long drive, left center field, way back, left center, and gone. Home run, Dwight Evans.
If there was any doubt that Evans' home run was a harbinger of a special season, it was erased on the cool, raw night of April 29th, when 24-year-old Roger Clemens electrified New England and introduced himself to the rest of the baseball world.
When you're mounting up strikeouts and you're out there doing it, nobody's talking to you. When you're doing something like that, it's somewhat like a no-hitter, where guys don't want to talk to you.
Strike 3. Struck him out.
It was probably more intense in a way than a no-hitter. He just didn't know if he could keep it up, and he was doing things that nobody had ever done before. The thing that's ironic for me is that he didn't walk anybody.
Defensive set. Popped up right side. Playable for Baylor as he drifts into foul ground now. And has it go off his glove.
That gives Roger another chance.
The question about Don Baylor missing a pop-up during the game, he got razzed plenty about that. But it was nice that we had the type of player on the mound that could overcome a missed out or get a fourth out of the inning, if you will.
Well, watching Roger pitch that night, you knew something was up in the first 2 or 3 innings, because normally when Roger pitched, there were a lot of foul balls. The Mariners weren't even making contact. They were swinging and missing. There were very few foul balls. He was just mowing them down. And about the 3rd inning, he started a string of 8 straight strikeouts. And I said, let's get out the record book, because something special is going to happen tonight.
Got him. 13 and a new Red Sox record.
I struck out in the 1st inning and in the 9th. So I was 19, 1 and 19. And I had no idea, because we knew he'd struck out a lot of guys, but it was a good ball game.
But as the game went along, it was a 0-0 game up until like the 6th or 7th inning. So the strikeouts really were noticeable, but not noticeable, because there was a bigger thing at hand, and that was to try and find a way to win the game.
Young's place. Drive deep to left center field. This ball is deep, deep, Gone! It's a home run. 3-run homer for Evans. The Red Sox lead 3-1.
For 9 innings, I watched this guy play catch with his catcher. There were so many swings and misses or balls taken that were just unhittables. You don't deal that too often. And like I said, it was incredible in the sense that everywhere I put the glove, he hit it. I would like to take some credit for it, but it was all him.
I would think they would just stay up. Yep. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stand up.
A new record. Clemens has set a major league record for strikeouts in a game. 20.
Clemens led the way on a rocket ride to the top of the standings in May. Rocket Roger himself was en route to a 14-0 start, and everything was going right for the Red Sox.
Second strikeout for Clemens.
Right before the All-Star break, in an extra inning game against the California Angels, down 7-4 in the 12th inning, a combination of hitting heroics and an Angel gaffe delivered the Sox a win.
And he slams it into right field. Baylor coming to the plate. Here comes the throw. Not in time. It's tied up. The ball gets away. It is backed up. Runners will be at second and third.
That's where we are right now.
Ray Canonis the batter. Runners at second and third.
Did he call a ball?
They have called a ball.
He
And
did.
They must have. Red
Yes, sir.
Sox win it. A balk has been called, and Evans comes home. And another impossible win for
I
Boston.
can remember Bob Boone going nuts. And it was like, I cannot believe we just won this game. Everybody just rallied around it. And again, it's one of those times where you sit there, much like the first series in Detroit, you go, if these guys are the best, we can beat them.
The makeup of the club was great. Evans in right field, tremendous.
Leaps up for the catch.
We had Jimmy Rice in left field. Boggs, probably one of the best hitters in the game. And I think once we picked up Spike Owen late in the season, it gave us some stability.
Hall going back, still going back. This ball is out of here. Home run for Spike Owen.
Marty Barrett at second had an exceptionally good season for us. And we had depth behind the plate, Gedman as a catcher. So it was a club that really didn't need a lot. Henderson gave us that kind of shot in the arm, gave us a little bit more power.
Center field, being chased by Shelby, and up he goes. It is gone. Dave Henderson's home run.
We had depth in pitching. Our bullpen was pretty strong. At that time, I had made a trade to bring Calvin Giraldi here. But it was a ball club that was a very talented ball club.
Performance by the big Texan.
We put together a pretty good ball club, but we came together too. We chose to come together and play together. And I don't know how that happens. It just happens. You know, you get confidence in one another. You know guys are going to stick up for you. You know guys are going to back you. You know the guy behind you is going to hit, or the pitcher that's coming up is going to, the next day is going to bring us out of a slump. You just knew things were going to happen, and it creates that winning attitude.
Sensing that the team had a chance to go for it all, Lou Gorman acquired future Hall of Famer Tom Seaver.
Between Baylor and Seaver in our clubhouse, they were unbelievable catalysts and leaders on that ball club. And everybody went to Seaver or to Baylor. And Baylor wasn't afraid of anybody. Baylor would challenge anybody in there. If he felt they weren't putting out, he'd go to them and get them face to face, right up in their face. Seaver, in a quiet way, but a great influence in pitching and theories of pitching. And Clements would go to him and talk about pitching, and the whole pitching staff would.
Seaver all my life had been one of my idols. I loved the way he pitched, and he was the epitome of a major league pitcher. And so to have him, for me, it was like the University of Seaver. I mean, I wanted to go to school every day.
Before August was over, Clemens had notched his 200th strikeout and won his 20th game, becoming the team's first 20-game winner since Dennis Eckersley. The Red Sox were right where they wanted to be, in first place heading into the final month. And then on September 28th, a highly charged oil can Boyd was on the mound against the Blue Jays with a chance to bring playoff baseball back to Boston.
Jim Rice, 2 out. The high pop-up. This may do it. Buckner is there. It's all over.
11 years after playing a lead role in the greatest World Series in the history of the Grand Ole Game, the Red Sox would engage in another round of unforgettable October drama. In the 1986 American League Championship Series, the West champion California Angels rode the emotional wave of the franchise's first playoff appearance to take a commanding 3-1 series lead. And the way things were looking after games 3 and 4, it looked like the Red Sox season was going to end in Anaheim.
The beginning of the series did not go well for us. We were able to battle and scratch, and there was a lot of tight games in the series. You know, the series was over basically in California.
The center field and deep and carrying and gone was just off his glove for a home run.
What happened was Tony Amos got hurt. He started that game in center field, so Henderson was a late replacement. Came in the middle innings, and then Grit should have drive to left center. He went back to the fence, hit his glove, and knocked it over for a 2-run homer, which looked like it might be the difference in the series.
Bruce Hurst took a 2-1 lead into the 6th, where it appeared that the fates were conspiring against the Red Sox again. Making matters worse, the Angels added 2 more runs in the 7th for a 5-2 lead. And so, down 3 runs with 3 outs to go, in a series they were trailing 3-1, the Red Sox did what they'd done all season. They battled back.
There's 2 outs in the last inning. I was coming up. They had motioned to the bullpen for the left-hander. And much of the resolve that we had during the season was brought into that. I'm sitting there going, there's no way I'm going to be the last out of this game. I don't know how or what way it's going to happen, but I have to find a way to get on. And fortunately for me, the first pitch is like right at my noggin, and the damn thing didn't break.
Look out! Oh, got hit on the hand on a pitch in on him. And the drama keeps building. Here comes Moore.
In a scene straight from nearby Hollywood, Dave Henderson was faced with the added prospect of making the final out of the Red Sox season.
1-0.
David played hard every day. He played hard every out and every inning, and he had the most positive attitude, and he was so clutch, and he just, you know, there was no quit in him. And the way things were kind of transpiring, you know, getting to his at-bat was, you know, we just felt good. For some reason, we just felt good.
The 2-2 pitch. Stays alive.
And the fans were beginning to stream down the aisles to go on the field, and we were about defeated. And I began to look for a way to get out because we wanted to get Mrs. Yorkie out and get out of the crowd and head back. And I began to get up to go find a security guard to make room to get us out. And I heard a crack of the bat.
To left field and deep and down he goes back and it's gone! Unbelievable!
By the time I turned around, it was like someone fired a cannon in the ballpark in total silence.
Game 5 was the greatest game I've ever been in my life. There was more, especially the last 2 innings, there was more ups and downs and emotion and energy than I'd ever been around. I've never been around 50 or 60,000 people like at Anaheim that was deathly silent. The only people we could hear were ourselves.
Forgotten in the euphoria is that the Angels tied the game in the bottom of the 9th, sending the game into extra innings.
The throw home is there! No, he's safe!
It looked like it was over, and Henderson had to perform the heroics twice. Then the Red Sox loaded the bases in the 11th inning, and he hit the sacrifice fly.
And it's drilled to the gap in left center field, deep enough to score a run. Pettis makes the catch. Baylor tags. Red Sox lead 7-6. Popped up. Here comes Stapleton. Next plane to Boston.
Although the Red Sox trailed in the series 3-2, in their minds the series was decided.
Somehow We came from the depths of being eliminated and scratched our way back and won Game 5. But what I remember most is after winning Game 5, there was not a feeling that we would lose. There was a feeling of, this series is ours. They're coming back to our hometown and they're not going to win.
And the Red Sox easily took Games 6 and 7, capping the greatest comeback in playoff history. Baseball's spotlight shines brightest in October, and in 1986, the Red Sox shared center stage with the New York Mets. But the season that began with a harbinger ended with a prophecy.
The nightmares are that you're going to let the winning run score on a ground ball through your legs. So, you know, those things happen, you know, and just I think a lot of it is just fate.
The team split the first 4 games, but pitcher Bruce Hurst put the Sox in the driver's seat by throwing a complete game 4-2 victory in Game 5.
In Game 5, when Bruce Hurst pitched, it was a great game, and we were able to win that one and go up 3-2. Going back to New York, going into Game 6, you know, we felt very confident that we were going to have a chance to win.
Game 6 probably was the most dramatic moment in my time, certainly, and maybe in the last 20 years. It was a ball game we had won. There were so many things happened in it. First off, Clemens was pitching brilliantly, had a lead after 7 innings, 3-2, had a 4-hitter going, came out with a blister on his finger, and then to come back and actually take the lead dramatically on Henderson's home run in the 10th inning.
Henderson has done it again. And a note on Rick Aguilera.
The Red Sox took a 5-3 lead into the bottom of the 10th, 3 outs away from a world championship.
And that's into dead center with Henderson going to run it down. And the Mets are down to their last out.
Have 2 outs, 2 strikes in the batter, 1 pitch away, 1 strike away from a world championship.
And then the Red Sox world and World Series dreams disappeared in a blur.
Lined into left field, base hit for Carter, and the Mets are still alive. Curveball, and that's going to be hit to center, base hit. And that's going to be hit into center field, base hit. Here comes Carter to score, and the tying run is at third in Kevin Mitchell. He wants Bob Stanley to pitch to Mookie Wilson.
Bob Stanley is a guy who was Red Sox through and through. At the time that he was playing, nobody did more for the Jimmy Fund. A quality guy, spent his entire career in a Red Sox uniform, and he really deserved to be the guy to close out the World Series.
And it's going to go to the backstop. Here comes Mitchell to score the tying run, and Ray Knight is at second base. So the winning run is at second base with 2 out, 3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
We were a strike away from winning that World Series 3 times. We had 2 strikes, 2 outs 3 times and couldn't shut the door. And it should never come to a ground ball to Bill Buckner. It should never have come to that. Why it happens and why those things happen, I don't know. I don't know. But I've never been so close and never wanted something so much.
Bill Buckner was a major part of our ball club. We wouldn't have been in the playoffs of the World Series without him. And a great competitor, really great competitor. I feel badly that people only remember that one play when he missed that one ball. Because when you look back on his career, he had a great career as a major league player.
There was still a Game 7 to be played, but much like the Angels had been following Dave Henderson's heroics, the Red Sox were emotionally spent. Destiny had taken a bad bounce, and when it was over, the Red Sox were left gazing at an all too familiar sight, the edge of total victory.
That is the closest you'll ever come to winning and not winning the championship that we've so long sought after. And that hurt that hurt.
It was there. And again, you know, I think all our lives would be changed if somehow we would have been able to get that third out.
I remember a line that Mike Monagle had written some years ago. And he wrote a line, he said that baseball is not a matter of life and death, but the Red Sox are. And that suddenly the implication of that hit me that moment as you sat there consumed in that despair.